I read the tax codes for you, and I have taught high-income earners like doctors, lawyers, and business owners that are making over six figures how to save on their taxes. And in this video, I'll break down the exact strategies I've spent the last 30 years mastering. The same strategies my investors use to help them keep more of the money they've already earned, invest that like an intelligent investor, and fast-track their path to financial freedom. If you're a high-income earner and you're not using these strategies, you're throwing away tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. See, the tax code is filled with legal ways to keep more of your money. But most people, doctors, lawyers, business owners, are unaware of them or too overwhelmed to use them properly. That's because they're busy running a business. But there's a simple strategy that could help you immediately put that money back into your pocket and allow you to reinvest it so that you can accelerate your path to financial freedom. And at the end of the day, isn't that why we work? So let's start with the why. Why are you losing money? Why are you missing deductions? It's because you are busy running a business. You're not up on the tax code. You're not up on entity structure. You're not sitting down and going through all the different ways to set things up, because it's all about how you set it up that dictates how you're going to get the deductions and how you're going to receive that income, which ultimately is going to dictate the tax rate you pay on it. So let's discuss how these deductions are things that you might not be doing properly, but you're already spending money on and you aren't taking the full advantage of it. Let's talk about depreciation. A lot of people use depreciation to lower their tax bill by buying vehicles, buying equipment, but they're only getting a one-time deduction. What if I told you that you could take that depreciation and put that into a passive income investment that your own company is paying for, but you're allowing yourself to take that from the active side of income to the passive side and change your tax rate by almost half? This is what I'm talking about. This allows you to do the things that you do in your business while allowing your business to pay the least amount of taxes possible, allowing you personally to pay a lower tax rate. And in doing that, you're able to save yourself thousands of dollars every year that you can then reinvest in other passive investments or back into your business. Look, you still get to write off wear and tear on the assets and on the vehicles and on the property, all of that. But you're able to do it in a way that allows you to maximize that and use the useful life, and then be able to walk away knowing that you've done the best thing you can for your business and paid attention to the tax code. So if you're using these strategies, you're actually not giving away your money to the government. And we know that they're reckless in their spending, and we know that our deficit is out of control. They're not concerned about your well-being, and we all know that Social Security isn't going to be there for any of us in the very near future. But if you're using these strategies, you will be keeping more money that you've earned, and you will be investing that in yourself, in your desires, and the things that will make you money and take care of your family for generations. So keeping more of the money you've already earned is the first step. But what you decide to do with those savings will be the difference between just getting by and really building long-term generational wealth. Most people think that saving on the taxes is the final step, that there isn't anything else that they can do. But the truth is, saving on the taxes is just the beginning. It's what opens the door to true financial freedom. And once the door is open, you will finally have access to the opportunities and the lifestyle that used to feel out of reach. See, the richest people we know today, like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, and Warren Buffett, all use a strategy that most people overlook. A strategy that can change how fast you reach your financial freedom. And that's where the intelligent investor framework comes from. See, once you've identified the tax savings that you can utilize in your own business and in your own life, that's great. Use them, set those up, take advantage of that. But now you have additional income. What if investing that additional income in tax-preferred strategies to continue to improve your own personal well-being and wealth financially was available to you? That's what the Intelligent Investor Framework is really all about. If you can make two different types of investments, one that is just an investment that's returning 10% annually, that's fantastic. But what if you could do that same thing and make a 10% annual return, but on that return, your taxes were literally cut in half? Wouldn't that make more spendable money? I mean, think about it. passive income is 20%. So if you're making 100 grand on investments, you're gonna pay 20 in taxes. What if you didn't pay that 20 in taxes? What if you paid 10? That's going to give you the ability to have financial freedom sooner. This chart's gonna show you what it looks like if you invest $80,000 a year for 10 years at a 10% return versus $90,000 a year at a 10% return. That additional $10,000 that you were going to give to the IRS but chose to follow the Intelligent Investor Framework shows that at the end of this time, the results are shocking. And that's just on a 10-year graph. Look now and see what 30 years of doing this would do for you. Now, don't kick yourself. I know you didn't know until today, but you are today years old when you saw this. Now's the time to take action. Look, let me tell you how it works. First, you analyze where your tax savings can be and put them to the best use. It could be real estate, stocks, even reinvesting in your own business. The key is to understand which asset class or investment will provide the highest return and tax benefit for your specific situation. Next, you strategize. You strategize around how to deploy those savings. What are the timelines for the returns? What are the risks? You want to structure your investments to align with your long-term financial goals, whether that's passive income, capital appreciation, or tax advantages in future years. Next, you implement. You implement and then you execute the strategy. This is the part where you actually put those savings into action. Whether it's acquiring property, again, purchasing stocks, vehicles, tools, or investing back into your business assets. Then, once those start to mature, you do the process all over again. So the smart move is to reinvest those profits and continue to let them build and return passively to you in a compounding framework for your growth. And the final step is simply to repeat the process. This is how wealth compounds over time. Warren Buffett says the eighth wonder of the world is compounding interest, and the more you invest and save and reinvest, the faster you move towards financial independence. And that's the goal for everybody. Now, understanding how to reinvest your tax savings is the game changer. But here's the thing, even the best strategies can fall apart without the right guidance. Knowing what to do is only half the battle. The real challenge is actually doing it correctly and legally. You might be thinking, I can't just handle this on my own. Well, of course you can, but most people don't, and that's where they make their biggest mistake. They don't follow through on these simple things because it's overwhelming, it's time-consuming, it involves research, and let's just be honest, it's because they're afraid of making a mistake and having the IRS come knocking on their door. That's why you need to involve the professionals that are around you. Let me ask you a quick question. What do you make an hour? Do you really even know? So take your before tax revenue from last year, take that top line revenue, what you come away with after you get all your expenses netted out before you take your tax deductions. That's the one we want. And you divide that by 40 hours in a week. And you divide that again by 52 weeks in a year. See, you have 2,080 billable hours in a year. But when you take that and you divide that down, it tells you what you are worth by the hour. A lot of people don't bother to do this, but what they see is that anything under that number, they're better off to pay somebody else to do it. So if you're billing out at $110 an hour and you have a bookkeeper that can handle a lot of this work for $42.50 an hour, you're way better off to pay them to deal with all of this stuff. You just have to set up the framework. So once you've done that, you have a true understanding and appreciation of what it means to put these things to work and to hire those that have the knowledge and have the information and are more skilled at it than you are, but you don't want to pay them because they're 75 bucks an hour. But once you understand what your billable rate is, it really makes it crystal clear in your mind where you're spending your money in a good and sensible reason. And this is the other reason why you want to work with a professional. It's safe, it's easy, it's predictable. You get connected in the right network. You know that it's legal because you've run it through your CPA, you've run it through your tax attorney, and they've confirmed it. The other key is to make sure you're not the one putting out all the work. You have to have time to sleep, you want to work, and you want to be there with your family. But in order to figure this out, you've got to assemble a team. And in order for it to get implemented, the team's got to be on board so that they can see the value of putting these things into place. So wouldn't you want to compress time? Wouldn't you want to beat the learning curve and start seeing results right away? Well, with the right professional, you can skip the guesswork. See, I like to take the complexity out of the process and make sure that you maximize your savings while staying on the right side of the IRS. So if you think you want to work with a professional that knows the ropes, that knows how to cut your taxes, maybe you should reach out to us. We'd love to have a conversation with you. And if you want an in-depth guide on the Intelligent Investor Framework and to see in action with real-life examples, check out the detailed video link below.